All right, so we're on another example where we're going to use our knowledge and understanding of solving and graphing inequalities for us to solve a real world problem where we're going to make some bows. So Caroline has at least 6 yards of ribbon. She uses 4.5 yards to make hair bows for the cheerleaders. And we need to solve the inequality 4.5 plus x is greater than or equal to 6 to find the amount of ribbon, which is going to be known as X, in yards that Caroline has left. And we want to know the minimum number of feet of ribbon Caroline has left. So that is our inequality. 4.5 plus X has to be greater than or equal to 6. All right. So again, in this problem, it's very important for us to pay attention to some of the details that they point out to us. I noticed that throughout the story, they tell us that they've given us the information in terms of yards. So this is all in yards, right? But then they go down here and they tell us they want to know the minimum number of feet. So we know that we're going to have to convert at the end of the story to make sure that we give them the information that pertains to what they're looking for, which is feet. So first things first, let's go on and work with what we have. I see that the variable is not isolated. We are adding 4.5. We need to get rid of that. So to get rid of it, we're going to subtract 4.5 from both sides. Okay. And so now we have x is going to be greater than or equal to 1.5. Okay. And so this is 1.5 yards. Let me make sure that I mention that. Now, what we need to do is figure out how many feet that is. Okay, so we'll need to go back to what we know in terms of proportional relationships. That's where we're comparing two different things, and just trying to see how they compare to one another. Two different units. In this case, we have yards, and we need to know about feet. Okay, so I know that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. Okay, so this is what I know. And what do I need to know? Well, I need to know 1.5 yards. So that's going to go on the line with the yards. 1.5 yards is equal to how many feet? So I'm going to put an X there. Okay, so now what we need to do is go on and multiply. I'm going to use cross multiplication, right? And by doing that, I have 1.5 yards. I need to convert that into feet. So let's see what we have. We have 3 times 1.5, and that is going to be equal to 1 times x, or just x. Okay, so 3 times 1.5, I know it's going to be 4.5, but let me just plug that in. So 3, or in fact, I could just say this. I could ignore the decimal. I know that 15 times 3 is 45. I'm going to plug in 45, and there's one number to the right of the decimal, so I'm just going to plug in my decimal, and that is the value of x. So x has to be 4.5 or greater to make this a true statement. So let's go. Let me write this up here. So we're going to rewrite it. X is greater than or equal to 4.5 feet. Okay, so we have that there, and I'm going to just erase all of this here. All right, so let's see what we can do to plug in here and make sure that this makes sense. So I'm going to draw my number line. I have 0 in the center, and 4.5 is going to be on the positive side, so 4.5 is going to go about right there. Now, what could I plug in where this statement x is greater than or equal to 4.5 would make this true? So I need something that's greater than or equal to 4.5. So greater than means I'm moving to the right. So what if I say, let's go over here and say 10, right? So if I replace x with 10 and say greater than or equal to, is this a true statement? Is 10 greater than or equal to 4.5? Well, yeah, that's true. So that means that I do have this all set up correctly. Now I just need to put my circle where it needs to be, where we're talking about 4.5. So I'm going to put my circle there. And because I see the equal to sign down here, I'm going to shade that in. That lets me know that it can also include 4.5. So I shade that in. And where would all the values be that's going to make this a true statement? Well, we're looking for greater than, so we need to go to the right. So this is your answer. You'll have a closed circle over 4.5, and your direction for the solution set is going to be to the right of 4.5.